What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
This is maybe going to look like a relatively simple change, but this is something that I was struggling with so much that I just couldn't figure this list out in time to prep it for the Pro Tour even. It was something I was trying to do for a while, was play the Tron mana base in 8-key combo, and I also think that this is true, that your best ideas are often the most simple looking too. But this is more or less what older 8-key has looked like. This is a deck we've played a lot on stream. I think that it is very powerful, it's very fast, it's very consistent. It has historically struggled against formats where there's a lot of Leyline Bindings and Force of Vigors. Those cards are not that popular at the moment, so I think there's actually a very good chance this deck is well positioned at the moment. But that being said, we're also still trying to work on lists and innovate and stuff. One, I had a very hard time getting away from Ancient Stirrings. One thing I was worried about moving this mana base to a Tron-based mana base is the lack of consistency that you lose by cutting Ancient Stirrings. Ancient Stirrings, I kind of have a heuristic with the hand. You can keep any hand with Saga, a castable Ancient Stirrings, or Mana Battery plus Key. And so removing one of the cards that gives you is keepable. Oh, this card is castable. Almost every hand is keepable. That was a problem for me going forward. But your Tron lands also expand your range of keepable hands. Any hand with natural Tron, any hand with 2 Tron pieces and an expedition map are also keepable. And during my off-stream playtesting and during my goldfishing, I was doing a lot of goldfishing. I don't do this that often when I'm playtesting goldfish, but I do it with big mana decks and combo decks. The deck is feeling still consistent and fast despite the Ancient Stirrings. And it is also nice that you don't have a green card anymore in your Mystic Forge deck. That is a little bit better. You are up 1 land, so you're minus 3 bricks on Mystic Forge, but I digress. Another issue I was having with this mana base was Power Conduit. Power Conduit, a big part of this deck's idea is that you're playing cards like Tindo Ice Bridge, you're playing a lot of Gemstone Caverns, you're playing a Blast Zone, because you want to be able to peel the counters off of the lands and put them on your Everflowing Chalice or your Astral Cornucopia. This is really common. A lot of hands are keepable based on this dynamic, and in this build, we're down to 2 Caverns and 4 Sagas. We're missing a lot of those things. So I was very unsure if Power Conduit was going to be a reliable enough source of counters. In my testing so far, the Tron mana just kind of makes up for it. Tron mana more or less makes up for it. And then one more very big... There's 2 more problems with the Tron mana base that it's not immediately obvious here. Is kind of what I'm going over. One... It is very so it's very so we have these 16 lands are mandatory. Your Sagas, your Tron pieces. I think the Inventors Fair is more or less mandatory if you're playing the expedition maps as a way to win the game with an expedition map pretty easily. I think the Caverns are really, really good. I think that these could be basic lands for Boseiju, but the problem is having lands to fetch off Boseiju. You might notice we have actual 0 in the main deck here. Which is going to be a problem against... But in my thinking here is that most copies of Boseiju in Modern are in the sideboard. So maybe we can just sideboard the basic lands. And in this way, you don't have... It's very difficult to play more than 19 lands, I think. I think you could play maybe 20... I would really prefer not to be above 19 lands, and so it's very difficult to fit everything in, and also have vegetables for Boseiju. But it's also just not that hard, I think, to sideboard them in 4 Gemstone Caverns against decks with Boseiju. I definitely gonna struggle against the Coffers 8-field deck, but it's kind of a bad matchup anyways. Another nice thing that the Tron mana really helps you out with is beating opposing Karns, being able to actually cast your Skysovereigns and Karn Force Cityscape Leveler 2. This is a real way to beat Karn. You also have Urza Saga tokens, but you're a lot better against Karn now, I think, with this package. And then the last hurdle to overcome when it comes to switching to the Tron mana base was the fact that this build is very weak to a Pithing Needle on Karn. Sorry, let me mute my phone. Build very weak to a Pithing Needle on Karn. You're more or less just resigned to making a bunch of Urza Saga tokens if that happens. We do currently have a plan for Pithing Needle on Karn. That plan is to, against decks that we think are going to have Pithing Needle, is we're going to board in the Magistrate Scepter, and we just take infinite turns, and infinite turns with Saga should get the job done. It's kind of like a simple solution, but really like, again, I've been wanting to play Tron lands in this deck for a long time. These are kind of the hurdles I had a hard time kind of overcoming with the build, but the real breakthrough was that like most of these problems are sideboard problems, so you just mostly get to solve them with sideboard plans. And I think that this is definitely the most powerful version of the deck we've played. I've been liking it a lot. Let's go ahead and get going. Sarah for the 60 months. Have updated Titanless Amulet deck for Lord of the Rings. We've played a lot of different versions. You can find some on the YouTube. We've tried some like hybrid Twiddlestorm Timeless Lotus builds too that are like interesting and powerful. A little bit more glass cannony than like the Tron land builds. Just give you so much more resilience. They let you overpower counter spells. They like this and then like the Anvil Tron deck are two like much better ways to like fight through interaction, I think, than the Timeless Lotus deck. Clark with the 5 months, Theo with the 7. Thank you all for the resubs. Why Basic Planes? Yeah, I thought Basic like the funniest. I thought it would be the funniest of the basics we could possibly play. I think I was right about that. Okay. Also, we no longer needing colored mana is pretty cool. I think that the Everflowing Chalice, I'm probably going to play it X=1 on turn 1 here. There's a lack of white. Yeah. I think that a lack of Force of Vigor, a lack of bindings. I'm starting to want to play. Okay, let's go ahead and play around Spell Pierce on our Everflowing Chalice. It's a really big problem if they ever counter your mana battery. It's also not great if my opponent Spell Pierce is my Surge node, but it's a bit better for me, I think. Then we're going to go ahead and Surge node our Chalice, and we're going to play Voltaic Key. We can guess a turn 2 Mystic Forge this game. Thank you, Gemstone Caverns. Honestly, 4 keys is played from my experience. Metamorph has been completely separate. I'm shocked to hear this. I'm like, I would love to play the 8th key in the main deck. I ended up even cutting for sideboard, but this is like absolutely not been my experience. Okay, immediately queued into a Field of Ruin deck. Might not matter though. I don't know. This kind of happens a lot, where like chatters would be like, "Oh yeah, I've played plenty of this deck, and 4 keys has been plenty." And then I don't know what you're like. I don't know if you're playing like Metamorph instead or what your cut is, but I mean I've played as much of this deck as anybody, if not like almost definitely more than anybody, and when I was working on the deck and building it initially, I started with like 2 or 3 keys, I think, maybe 1 key as a Saga target, and have like happily moved up to 8 over time. I don't know. I would just need like a much more cohesive thesis than 4 keys is plenty. Dixon the 28, thank you. Play 6 main one side. Yeah. I think we have 7 main right now. I think the one in the sideboard is like not that impactful. I did end up cutting it for today. But I mean I don't know what you've cut for the keys. The keys I think are so important. Okay, it tosses me down to 19 cards. I did turn off animations. Yeah. I don't even know how you know that though. The animations are so like non-existent almost. It'd be hard to win this turn. We really need to try. We currently have 8 mana. Guess we'll cast that. So we have protection from everything at the moment. We'll see how relevant that is. Too bad I can't use my Surge node first here. There's another ring. Let's go ahead and clear that with this ring. Another key, so I can go Cornucopia. Very likely not going to be able to win this turn. Oh, so close. If we had one more mana, this represents like a pretty significant bump at our mana this turn. I guess if I find a key off the top, okay, no. Okay, so we'll pass and then hope that our protection from everything gets us out of this. The problem is, of course, that Ruin Crab gets around the protection from everything, but it disrupts some of their effects. Yeah, we could play an Emrakul in the sideboard for the mill matchup. I wouldn't be opposed to that. We have done that in the past even, but you know, this is kind of the problem with like tuning lists in leagues always. Each opponent mills 14. I really like one engine in the main and Ballista main as map targets. Ballista main as map target. Saga map fair, get combo piece. I don't know why you need Ballista as a map, as like a Inventors Fair target. I think that's kind of nonsense, to be honest. But main deck Paradox engine is fine, I think. I've played it some, I think it's okay. I don't think it's mandatory, though. Okay, so Plains in, and then let's bring in the Scepter to play around Surgical on Karn. This B61 seems fine, of course. This matchup, too. I was cutting Mystic Forge for the slots. I mean, cutting Forge seems kind of wild to me. Maybe it is okay with the rings now. I don't know. It's honestly, it's hard for me to be, like, more confident in the list. At the moment, I'm pretty happy with where it is. It's okay to have these disagreements. This hand is amazing. Leveler for laughter. Yeah, Leveler is so weak against it. I guess you mill it and unearth it sometimes. Could be good. Yeah, the basics of the sideboard was something that I just couldn't figure out pre-Pro Tour. Something I was trying to figure out. Yeah, can't quite cast a 4-drop here. Not that we would necessarily want to. Also going to not put a counter on the Astral Cornucopia here so that I can start the Urza Saga loop next turn. I was playing 4 Stonebrain inside for Karn. Yeah, Stonebrain sucks. This is something that has, I think, been like I almost never get Stonebrain off Karn. I've almost never seen Stonebrain be like particularly good against me. I think Stonebrain like genuinely sucks. I think the card is like actually awful. It is like something you can play. I mean like a little hyperbolic, but like people overrate Stonebrain so much it's ridiculous. Is really the point I'm trying to make. It is just like maybe the most overrated Karn target. I almost never get it. It is just not a card that I think is very relevant in modern, and I just bring them in. Yeah, I know you just bring them in. I know that you just bring them in. I know that you board into Stonebrains, and I'm telling you, please don't. Please don't. You're just outsmarting yourself. I know that you just board them in, and you get to feel like a genius, but I promise, I really, really strongly think it's incorrect. Uh-oh. Okay, no fetch line at least. So yeah, have I milled my okay, I've not milled my Scepter yet. Could maybe Inventors Fair for it this turn. I don't think we have nearly enough mana though. The 0-drop is kind of interesting because I think we have enough to Paradoxical Engine. We may be a little short, so I have 1 key in play right now. So maybe best to untap Power Conduit. So untap Power Conduit with a key, 3 counter Everflowing Chalice, 5, 6 mana. Yeah, we can't. I don't think we can engine this turn. Ring does stop the Hedron Crab stuff. I think we probably just have to do that. Played your non-Tron, land A key and Brain was the first cut I did in favor of more Visage use. Yeah, I think cutting Stonebrain from the sideboard is fine. I still like play 1 copy in the sideboard, and there are some spots. I'm being a little hyperbolic for content like usual, but There are some spots that you do get it, but for the most part, I just hear this sentiment all the time from chatters. Spike, I sided all these stone brains. I sided all these stone brains. I have all these stone brains in the sideboard, and I side them in. I hear this all the time. I hear this from my friends too, who just feel like they've just broken it, and I have like literally never seen it be a good plan. I have never seen it work. I've never seen like any of my friends I really never feel like they get paid off for it. It is just a way to outsmart yourself, and I really encourage you to try to stay away from it. Yeah, we may just get them with the Manifold Key next turn. One of my friends in the Pioneer RC was like very close to playing 4 Stone Brains in the Karn sideboard and just boarding 3 in, and I don't know, it's just... You just outsmart yourself. And I'm someone who's like definitely been guilty of outsmarting myself many times. I just don't want you to make the same mistakes I have. I wonder what the odds are my opponent just has a removal spell here. So we have to peel this counter. We do have another planes to get. Might as well. We can make a Saga token too. I don't think a Saga token is super relevant, actually. Oh, they milled my other planes. Okay. Will be a budget substitution to One Ring? I don't know, dude. Like, I mean, we've played the deck without Ring before Ring. You can like look at the older versions, but the Ring is like, the Ring is so insane in this deck. I would like seriously like, I don't know, dude. I don't know that I can in good conscience recommend someone play the deck without Ring. Okay, we're down to 8 cards in library. Do they have double Archive Trap? They're drowned. Wait, why are you doing this? Stop. Now you're just gonna die. Aren't you just gonna die to my Manifold Key? I mean, I'm sure like I get this to 10 power. Yeah, I'm not suggesting, don't put yourself in financial hardship to get the rings, but like proxy or something, or find them to borrow. All right, just like for the memes, I guess. I just needed any artifact here. There's nothing they can have. Okay, so let's bring in the caverns on the draw. I also need the planes though, but maybe I'm actually probably just relatively comfortable being at 63, especially when we're going up lands. Yeah, seems fine. Pretty good hand. Let's keep this. Like, would you play the second to Pro Tour? Obviously, like, I would have needed to test this build a lot more. I went over this at the beginning of the stream, but there's a lot about this deck that I was not able to figure out in time for the Pro Tour. About like how to play the Tron, how to solve the problems that the Tron land base brings. There's like 4 or 5 of them that I think are not immediately obvious. I went over them at the beginning. But I just feel like I had a breakthrough on the deck yesterday. Yeah, Plains is just any basic land, but it's not only any basic land, it's like objectively the funniest basic land you can play, which is why I'm choosing to play it over the other ones. It's just like definitely funnier. If my opponent has Drown on my Coretapper, it's pretty bad for me to not Surge Node here. They did Shock off Watery Grave, so they would definitely kind of imply that they have it. I think I'm even going to play this a little bit slowly. Objectively funny, PT deck for sure. I'm just saying, Plains is any basic land. Plains is the funniest basic land. I'm not saying the rest of the deck is funny. Oh, maybe it is. I'm just saying, yes, it is just any basic land. Okay, the Surgical Everflowing Chalice, which you should never do. I guess no, they can do this if they have explosives in their hand, actually. Waste is the coolest. I agree that Waste is the coolest. I think that Plains is the funniest. I don't have a strong opinion about the other ones. There is like a little bit of value that you like get Plains off their Field of Ruin, and they're like, what? Plains? What do they have? And then they just kind of like tilt off and they stop thinking about the game. Like, what white card is in the deck? Wait, you can't search. Oh yeah, you can't search Waste off Besage You. That's right. Still a lot of style points, huh? That's lame. You should be able to get it. Okay, now they're extirpating Voltaic Key. I do have one in my hand. I'm so happy they're doing this instead of like getting a real card, like getting a Karn or something. It could be good to make a Saga token, because if they do surgical, my Sagas and my Karns, I can still win with the infinite turns. If I do make a Saga token this turn, I'm really not doing anything else. So let's not. I have a lot of power I can do this turn. Yeah, I do feel like Besage You is a little bit on the decline. And Force of Vigor is also, like, I think, very, very in the decline, which is, like... I know when we were playing a lot of this deck in the past, like, it was just feeling so good and powerful and fast and consistent, but there are a lot of Force of Vigors that you'll lose to all the time, but I feel like Force is much less popular. Ugh. Oh, sorry, I thought for sure this was going to be a draw 3. It was not. Magenta Joria 4 Besage You 35. Yeah, but another thing too is like they are mostly in the sideboard. I imagine you have 1 main 3 side, which is kind of why I feel more or less comfortable playing my basics in the side. Omnath is kind of the same way. They have 1 Besage You the main and then like more in the side. Okay, very likely to win next turn. I guess I should have Mystic Forged, I think. Maybe I shouldn't have done it now though. Sorry, I shouldn't have done it now because they have the Ruin Crab. Just -1 card in library. It's crazy. 4 seasons no play. Yeah, Hammer's still bad. Yeah, Hammer is so bad against the Ring. It's like the only deck in the format that is just like, oh, you played a Ring, and so it is like literally over. Do I have any Plains left? So they have 2 cards in their hand. I have 25 cards in my library. Yeah, still in the... I should be tapping it for white mana now, huh? Okay, they've successfully surgicaled my Karns. This is unfair. You don't deserve to have the 3rd surgical opponent. You do not deserve to surgical me, see that Karn is one of my only win conditions, and then just draw a 3rd surgical. It's outrageous. That being said, okay, I also only have 1 Urza Saga left in the deck. I can win with Coretapper, though, maybe. Maybe I don't have enough cards in my library to win with Coretappers. No, I can put counters on it. I could win. Right, I do have Coretapper. I guess I need to check I have them in the deck. I have 2 Coretappers left. I need to find my Magistrate Scepter. I need to find it this turn. I can't really risk my opponent. Could also map for my last Saga, which would make things a bit easier. So I'm going to go ahead and Surge Node my Cornucopia, Power Conduit my Cornucopia. Guess they have the Ghost Quarter, so maybe that's actually not a good plan, huh? Yeah, let's take that. Alright, there we go. There's a Scepter. But as Ghost Quarter, I know, yeah. Which is why I think we have to win with Coretapper and Infinite Turns. Which is, I don't know, maybe it's not going to be possible. Let's find out. Okay, they're countering the Ring. I'm thrilled that's happening. But this draw is pretty good. Thrilled that that's happening and they're not countering my Scepter. Okay, Power Conduit's nice. So we need to get 3 charge counters on the Scepter, which we can do. We could put 1, 2, 3, yeah. So we can take a turn now. We go Charge counter on Scepter, peel off the Surge node. Untap Power Conduit. Peel. So we have infinite turns. Big problem. They have this Ghost Quarter. So we are gonna have to find. Okay, well I guess we don't have actual infinite because we also don't have like Urza Saga as a permanent source of counters. It's gonna be tough, y'all. This is gonna be a tough one. This is gonna be maybe one of the most difficult games I've ever had to win. It gets a lot easier if they just YOLO the Ghost Quarter because that's the only thing they have. Infinite Constructs. The thing is, I only have one Urza Saga left. I have no Urza Sagas left in my deck. Okay. No, I thought there was 3. I have none. My win condition is now Coretapper and making Coretapper really big with Power Conduit. This is the only way I can win because they've surgicaled my Karns. Last one could do it. Yeah, no longer in the deck. Okay. They're Ghost Quartering themselves. A line I did not see, to be fair. I think we should shadow the other. Oh, okay. Now we only have one Coretapper in the deck. Surge Node has a lot of counters. Let me cast this map. Can I symbol Tron? Symboling Tron is kind of helpful for just sinking mana into Magistrate Scepter. So I have a mine on top. I have 3 towers in the graveyard. It seems I still have the 4th tower in the deck. So again, I need to find my Coretapper, and I need to do it in a way that I'm leaving enough cards in my library to buff its power and full enough. Right, I do have the Coretapper, right? Okay. So let me map for tower. Again, I want to keep cards in my library. I don't really want to exile them to Mystic Forge if I don't have to. The ring gives you counter. Yeah, but again, the thing is like I need to make sure I have enough time to attack with my Coretapper. Okay, there it is. But it may be I maybe do have to play the ring. I'm not sure. So I can go. Let me see. Let me just see if I can actually take infinite turns now, because you can't just with enough mana. You're taking infinite turns with Magistrate Scepter. Oh wait, you just have to have keys to untap it. I think I am. We're at least taking a turn here. Let's just take a turn. Come on, Coretapper. No, come on, you have to be here. You have to be here. Okay, I only have 7 cards left in my library. It's actually maybe better to be power conduiting the Cornucopia, so I'm just able to sink more mana. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Coretapper, please. Yes! Yes! Let's go. Okay, so now the easy part is over. Find the Coretapper. Now the hard part begins. Killing my opponent in time. So I have 3 counters here, I have 6 counters here. I need to take a turn for sure. I should have enough mana to easily want to do this. Take a turn. Now, we're putting counters here. And I have a freaking Coretapper, dude. Oh, can I just one-shot them? I might be able to one-shot them, actually. Right, okay, so I can buff this by 7 next turn. Oh, I have Xaxes to one-shot them? Oh, I was fine. I was always fine, dude. Oh, wait, no, I don't, because I can't give it unblockable. So I have to take a turn. What's nice is I can... Coretapper means... Oh, yeah, sorry, it's easy, because I just get to go tap Coretapper. Yeah, no, we do win. We don't get to one-shot them here. But I'm no longer, like, dying for a easy source of counters. So take a turn. Now, we just have to keep growing the tapper. Well, we are kind of out of counters, huh? I guess I can go peel this, put a counter, peel the counter here. I've got one more counter here. 3 cards in our library. Yeah, I guess I should probably... I probably needed to be actually untapping the Coretapper to be putting the charge counters. So now I'm 2 counters short, but I can get those counters. Yeah, so we should win. We should win. So let's take our next turn. Can you not just kill them over 2 turns? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. The thing is, I have to also be like taking turns each time, which is not actually something that's super easy to do here. While like also using all my other counters to grow the Coretapper. But this should be enough. So I now have 4 counters to move. Yeah, so we go move a counter, counter. And then we simply untap, and we make it unblockable. Easy game. Classic first match of the day on twitch.tv/aspiringspike. Let me see P, me too, yeah. Basic Swamp, huh? The old Basic Swamp pause to figure out what you're pitching to Grief. Definitely excited to play this matchup. Curious what they'll take. Happy to see not see red blue. Yeah, I was getting pretty burned out on Is It decks after we had Is It week last week, and Is It week bled into this week too. Oh yeah, we also boarded up to 63 and we won the game with 2 cards left in the library. I don't know that I've ever won a game of Magic with thinner margins than that one. What was it? Sorry, they took Mystic Forge. Okay, that makes sense actually. Happy to draw another mana battery, super important for this hand. I was excited to play this matchup. I kind of am, I don't know. I'm usually excited to play against Scam once when I'm working on like a new deck. I really want to like just test the matchup at least once, but matchup seems very bad. I actually think it's not going to be that bad. This is my kind of weird copium. I think that what used to be kind of tough was they had a lot of like Hidetsugus and explosives, and I think they're cutting a lot of these effects now. I don't think that the matchup is very good, but I have confidence in our ability to like even win this game on the draw against like Grief into Voidwalker. Like I actually, and I know like nobody currently believes this. I think I'm ahead, and I think I'm likely to win this game at the moment. I don't know that anybody in the chat would agree, but maybe we could just do it, huh? I genuinely at the moment feel like I'm ahead. I don't know if that's a very rational thing to feel at the moment. I played 3 explosives, damn it. They punch when it takes the power conduit. Yeah, that is part of it. Them not taking the power conduit was part of me feeling good. Like, I think if they have a really good play this turn, like if they do have Grief into Voidwalker into really good play, we're in good shape, but we're doing good against lands, Fury, Grief, Thoughtseize, discard spells. Bowmasters is, I guess, bad because we do want to find a ring. And it does look like they may have a Bowmaster. Okay, so charge... Oh, sorry. I've done this a few times, seen the Inventors Fair trigger on the stack, think it's my Saga trigger, and then punt by peeling a counter off with my upkeep. Can we ring this turn? We're close. We have 5, 6, 7 mana. 8, which is exactly... Oh, sorry, I can't count the Inventors Fair. I think I'm one short of putting a ring into play here. So because I have 1 from the Saga, 1 from the Mine, 3 from the Cornucopia, 2 from a Key. That's 7 mana, and it costs me 8 to crack Inventors Fair and put a ring into play. So let's... I suppose... We still need to get a key. Still need to get a key. I'm at 10. Go to 1 against a Bowmaster at the moment. Head to a Bolt. I think I have no... I could maybe get another Saga token. I think I would rather, instead of... I think I would rather just grow the Cornucopia. Oh, sorry, I can't grow Cornucopia. Right. Yeah, I should have mapped for another Saga then. You do die to Bowmaster? I block... No, I go to 1, because I get to block a Bowmaster, and then... Right, I block a Bowmaster, take 8? Yeah. Yeah, double... I do die to double Bowmaster. So I guess I play around Undying effects. Can I afford to play around things? Okay. Yeah, maybe a little bit of Copium. Although I don't know. I was feeling pretty good about beating Grief into Voidwalker, but like Grief into Voidwalker plus 2 more relevant cards. that you know, on the play. Maybe you lose to that, huh? Okay, on the play, just 1 Plains over Caverns because they're... I guess the first Caverns is about as good as the other Plains. Don't think we need to bring in the Scepter. Yeah, Astral Cornucopia. Seraph, 29, Renew with 11. Yeah, I don't know. I think if we untap, we're winning the game. I really thought we were likely to make it 2 more turns. Their whole deck is relevant cards. No, we were beating, again, Fury, Terminate. I guess, like, not Terminate plus Bowmasters. But, like, I don't know. We Fury, any discard effect, any removal spell, any 3-mana spell. That's not Blood Moon, I guess. We're pretty good against any Undying effect. Dingus, 25 months, thank you. Okay, let's mulligan this. Keep this one. It's a good one. Scam thrives when people believe they have good scam matchups. Yeah, I don't necessarily think the matchup's good. I think it's probably not that bad either. I wouldn't say I'm above 50%. I've also like played a lot of this deck and beaten Scam a lot with it. Maybe it could be correct to put back a Power Conduit here since I can't keep both against a Scam anyways. Also, it would be nice to have a card post-Scam maybe. Is there really any use to board Plains against Scam? Well, they're better than my Gemstone Caverns, which is something I said when I boarded in the Gemstone Caverns. Do we need second? Yeah, I don't know. Y'all are don't overthink it. I would never play Dark Soul Citadel in this deck. I think though, or I would not recommend it at least. So I don't think I can play Ring unless I commit to losing my Urza Saga here, which is maybe fine to lose Urza Saga since they could just have Blood Moon next turn. Because if I tap if I tap Power Conduit, tap Power Conduit, get an Everflowing Chalice, play Urza Sour, have 3 mana. Yeah, I just can't go up any mana here. But let's get the Ring in play. This is better against Blood Moon, it's better against discard effects. Can I Power Conduit? Yeah, I can Power Conduit before playing the Ring too. King Jester with the 20 months, thank you. Thought that's something funny than 24 months of subs. What is it? Yes, cast a 3-drop. Cast Blood Moon, I don't care. Cast a Fable, I don't care. It's almost like nothing we really even care about this turn. Masters is the worst, I guess, but we can beat a Boatmaster. Oh, damn it. I blame Jesse. We do care about that. Should we maybe bring in our welding jars in this matchup? Shouldn't a Ring be tapping in a turn in case of Thoughtseize? I have protection from everything. I have protection from grief. You even sometimes bait them into casting the grief because players, I don't know. Sometimes you just trick them into it. We're still fine. We do need to find a mana battery. We're currently drawing like at least 5 cards. Yeah, you want to be main phase tapping because of opposing Bowmasters too. So no battery in like the top 5. Get 4 more looks. We can maybe do something else. Obviously, we're just kind of happy to draw this many cards. At least I am. And I can peel counters off the Ring too and onto the Everflowing Chalice if I like. Okay, they just concede. I'll take that. Is the worst enemy Stony Silence and then Brotherhood End? I'm like much more. Stony Silence and Karn are very tough. Yeah, I'm much more scared of those cards than I am cards like Brotherhood End. Okay, do I bring in Needle? Probably what Needle over. Yeah, we'll bring in the Needle. We'll bring in the Needle. Putting a Key is fine. Cutting a Map is also... Let's cut a Map against the Blood Moon deck. I like that we can start making Saga tokens on turn 2 with this hand. I like that we're pretty resilient to discard. I like I have Gemstone Caverns on a 7-card hand. Don't you only need 1 planes? I mean, I think you want 2 Beseiju / Field of Ruin effects. I don't know. It's... I kind of knew the planes would be like the talk of the town a little bit today, but I do think for the most part people can overthink it a little bit. I think I probably want to save the Coretapper. Obviously they could have another discard effect, and me tapping 2 mana means if they have another Thoughtseize they'll cast it, but you know, playing Coretapper where you don't have a battery against a removal deck is also pretty bad. Okay. Power Conduit is a very interesting draw. I think we play it. If we don't get to make our Saga token, we get to keep the Saga around. Maybe even the first thing I get might be explosives too. We also might just get Blood Mooned. Feels bad. Going to be difficult to win this one. They don't have a ton of pressure at the moment. The thing is we need to draw a mana battery plus a payoff. Although I guess we could also, we're also like just 1 mana away from a payoff. We could just draw land payoff. Scam the reason no one plays Rock or Sack anymore? I think Sack is typically favored against Scam. Could be Blood Moon? Yeah, we could be Blood Moon. The problem is we need to draw two things here. We need to draw a mana, we need to draw a 4-drop, and we need to do it before we die, which is just maybe maybe not going to be that easy of a thing to do. But counter on tapper, another player Bowmaster. Coretapper does not have haste. Oh, although I could have saved the Coretapper with the Power Conduit. That's what you meant. Okay, yeah, I guess that was much better to have saved it. I just kind of saw the line of fizzle, and it feels so bad to have the land we draw here be Urza Saga, where like this is like the one land that doesn't give us outs to cast a 4-drop. So now they're on a 2-turn clock. We need to draw runner. So we need to draw ring, which is obviously not super ideal. Needing to draw ring with an opposing Bowmaster. It's tough. This is also kind of the tough dynamic about Scam. Like, I think we were pretty good against turn 1 Grief. Could be a turn 1 Fury. Like the card we were weak to this time, I think, was Blood Moon. They just attack from so many different angles. Okay, so ring or bust, but even ring is kind of ambitious to think we win. Tough. Definitely play this turn 1 because of Spell Pierce and Thoughtseize. Pending is gonna get you kind of no matter what. Did I see Respect the Cat's 4-color Kruger lists? I've seen lots of Respect the Cat 4-color Kruger lists. The name is down, I think it was 5 months. Windswept Teeth, Sacred Foundry. We do run into the Pending, but they target the wrong thing, so that's nice. Happens a lot with this deck, people just target the wrong thing. Interesting, we may go for Expedition Map. You're just winning? Yeah, I've seen... I don't know if I've seen the latest 75 or anything, but I've seen plenty of Respect the Cat lists. What I find interesting about the deck is you always seem to lead with Saga. Yeah, this is a deck if you have Saga in your opening hand, it is almost always correct to play at turn 1. I think there are some like natural Tron or like you'll have. I think if you have turn 3 Tron, then that's like the only exception. But you're like very happy to play Saga turn 1. Does Cornucopia stop Giganta? Yes. Yeah, let's get the map. Could have made a Saga token instead of playing both keys. I think I'd rather just play both keys. Bounce Saga, maybe? Do bounce Saga, it's fine. I don't really have a source of counters anymore. I could peel a counter off Karn, maybe. I have the ring. Or I'm gonna have the ring. Am I gonna have the ring or am I gonna play Mystic Forge? Let's get a ring down, I think. And then I'll be able to draw 3 cards this turn. We could have had extra counter on Cornucopia. We could have, yeah. We should have. The thing is, I didn't leave up the Cornucopia as one of the mana to tap for the map, right? But if I had done that, then we could have had the extra color. Yeah, ring is just, it's so absurd in this deck. Okay, they do ping my Karn. I have the Mystic Forge though. Can also just get that key underneath the binding. It could be. I probably need to be going for Paradoxical or Paradox Engine off of the off of this Karn. Let's see. So I have 7, 10, 11 mana. Oh, sorry. Plus each key is 2 mana. So should I've unless my opponent has force of negation, I have a really hard time imagining they could win. Or sorry, they could stop me from winning this turn, rather. Which I guess is kind of the same thing. Concede. Thank you, opponent. So, Beseiju matchup. On the play, just cut the Caverns. I don't think I'm going to be worried about Pithing Needle. Yeah, let's just run it. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I thought I was on the play. I did think I was on the play. I would have won the Caverns, it's okay. That's fine. I'm not 100% sure how you're supposed to sideboard, but I would have wanted the extra lands. So on the draw, I guess the fact that I have to draw a land or Surge Node means you just mulligan that one. Happy to be able to put the plains on the bottom. Just want to end the deck, really. But it's on a mull to 4. Yeah, any basic is the same. Plains is just the funniest one. You cannot companion Zerda because of Urza Saga. I would companion it if you could, though. And then we play mountains in the board. Test it off Astral Cornucopia. Okay, so they're on the 4. They've got 2 cards left in their hands. Good chance that we X equals 1 our Cornucopia this game. How often do you need to use the Reservoir Auxiliaries when kind of the side? You feel like it's necessary. Sometimes you use it as a life gain effect against burn too. It is kind of nice to have like a Ballista and a Reservoir too. It's very uncommon, but okay, is it better to go? So Surge Node, Chalice on 0, counter. Then I can't do another one, so I think I just do this. Oh, I guess I could have also. Oh, I could have put the Power Conduit. Never mind. Yeah, I should have gone Surge Node, Chalice on 0. Oh no, I couldn't have. Never mind. This was fine. Final answer. This was fine. How much better is the mana without Ancient Stirrings? I mean, the mana is really nice that you no longer have a green card. The green card was sometimes awkward to cast. I think overall, though, I would call Stirrings a card that increased your consistency rather than diminished your consistency for whatever that's worth. I don't think that... I feel like the deck is more, like, you know, significantly more consistent mana-wise, but I do think it is more powerful without really diminishing consistency a lot. Just because one thing was, basically any hand with a castable, any like 6 or 7 card with a castable Stirrings was keepable. There are very few exceptions to that, but sorry, it's so hard to talk and think with this deck. There are very few exceptions to that, but but the Tron lands in your deck also increase your range of keepable hands pretty significantly. Yeah, pinning is definitely bad for us here. I guess I should have peeled the counter off the battery. We're looking for a battery, expedition map, or tower. Well, only has one card in their hand too. Kind of have all the time in the world. Saga would be a good draw. How do you deal with artifact hate? It kind of depends on the hate. Cards like Shatters here, like Prismatic Ending. My opponent, you know, we can play through it. We can overpower it sometimes. Sometimes you lose to these cards. Force of Vigor was always like the card that was really, really hard to deal with. Oh, baby. But I will also say that like just Tron in general is something that I think is very good at beating hate cards. Where you get to, like, this is just so powerful and you get to, like, it's harder for them to interact with your mana when you're on your Tron plan. We're thinking the Twinning Twins from Wilds of Energy must be strong in Karuga, being both the Flicker and... Yeah, I think that sounds fine, being, like, a fine card to cast, plus scam card for your incarnations. I always kind of hated Touch the Spirit Realm. Maybe it's a bit better. Well, okay, why do I owe Dingo 57 cents? 56 cents. So I'm going to get a Saga if I don't find anything good off here. I think I exile this map. If I play the map, I can't play Saga this turn. Well, now I'll play Karn. I may just get the Everflowing Chalice. I think so, yeah. You have Force of Vigor? How is this being cast now? What did you pitch? Terra Thunder? Okay, they wanted to get max value. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. As long as it makes sense. Okay, the last card is a spell. Maybe Lorien Revealed? Prismatic Ending X equals 4. Okay. Good job, opponent. Good Moldifor. I do think these are the games where the Tron mana base really shines. So let's get Inventors Fair now. I do have to play another artifact, right? Yeah. Which one should it be? Probably the key, because I want to maybe untap the ring that I'm about to get. Oh, I'm one short of playing the ring, huh? Okay, well, I'll play our stuff out. Maybe get to still use the mana to sack. We consider Surge of Salvation versus Scam or Force of Vigor too hard in the mana. What deck are we talking about? This deck, you cannot cast a colored spell. You have 2 planes of the sideboard. I guess you have Cornucopia, but I don't know. I know we lost the Scam earlier. I don't think that the matchup is amazing. I also don't think the matchup is like so horrendous that I'm considering really doing. So I no longer have a battery to get. It's a weird game. I think I Inventors Fair for ring here. You saw the black green rock there from yesterday. I did not see it. You know, I mostly get, like, I'll see some lists on Twitter sometimes, but mostly how I get my, like, Decklist news is exactly what's happening now. You're telling me about the list. So if you want to link it, I'll take a look. But for the most part, I just wait until people go, "Hey, Spike, you see the list?" I'm like, "No, can you send it in the chat?" And that way, I have a hive mind that filters out the interesting decks from the monotony for me. So we can Karn here. Is ticking up the ring before drawing, or something you never do? Like, untap the key in response to the trigger. It's the same number of cards, right? It should be the same number of cards. As far as I can tell. Evening Teferi seems okay. Just deny them a draw. I don't have another key in the deck to get. Not that it would really do much. Also coating the Teferi, maybe. Coating is pretty cool in this deck when you have Karn, because sometimes you like untap your coating with your keys and you just lock everything down. It's not a very common play, but when it happens, it's like the coolest ever. Let's get Needle instead. What counters? Oh yeah. The ring has burden counters instead of charge counters, so you can't like power conduit it. We have another spell. Pretty good bolt of 4. So they're gonna kill my Karn. Do I think I have protection from everything, right? Yeah, I should have protection from everything. Not that I need it, I guess. They draw another spell. Is it? Oh, they drew a Beseiju? I think they drew Beseiju. Is naming Beseiju consideration? I think with the onboard Teferi on 3, you just always needle Teferi here. Well, how about this opponent for your Beseiju? Also, you know, we want to get our planes. So they Beseiju the Needle, bounce the ring. They have drawn another card now. It needs to be a really relevant one. Probably we're going to win with Paradox Engine here. As you usually do. I like always tap this for green out of habit. It's so funny. Okay, could untap. We could have had like 18 extra mana here, but we just don't need it. Probably do this just to... My opponent is apologizing for misplaying. I have no idea. Oh, they did the Force of Vigor? Like, I understand, like, I thought the Force of Vigor was really weird at first, but, like, the fact that their other card was Terra Sunder on the Mold of 4, I thought was fine. I thought they played good. Was there anything game 1? I don't think so. And cards like Dothy Voidwalker, and then 8 key is... Okay, so usually I play out of battery turn 1, I think with 3 in my hand. I'm not going to. Yeah, Anviltron is weaker to Graveyard Hate, and I think a little... And weaker, and much weaker to Tron Hate too, because... You're more in on the Tron mana. You have, like, just 3 copies of Semblance Anvil as your other source of mana if your opponent, like, Blood Moons you. In this deck, you don't care, like, very much about them keeping you off Tron, since you are, you know... Oh, that's Tron. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought out today. Let me try to block sack here. Was this a land where you wait for Saga for turn? I don't think so. You almost, if you don't have, I think as a general heuristic, in the blind, if you don't, if you don't have natural Tron or 2 Tron lands in a map, you should just play Saga turn 1. I think almost always. Is a joke with Noxus Revel's Prize? Oh, I haven't casted Noxus Revival in a long time. Another Breach. Yeah, so I'm probably... Let's see what we draw. If I draw a Payoff, I can get not map. Do you think I need to make a token? But I'm going to get map for Inventors Fair. Since we have, you know, a good amount of mana, but not a lot of payoff here. And then I'll play the Everflowing Chalice so that my construct can not be bolted. Obviously, just like drawing a payoff would be pretty nice here, but since mapping for Inventors Fair is pretty slow, we can be casting. In the meantime, we can cast some big cornucopias and stuff. Maybe it was actually good to just cornucopia on 0 so that we could play like a much bigger Chalice. Not sure. Yeah, so we'll crack the. We'll make sure we can also crack the map this turn. We probably will. We should be able to play it off for Cornucopia. Not attacking. I think it's just better to block the Ragavan. Not really much of a combat damage deck. So this is X equals 3, which we use to get Inventors Fair. Probably for Mystic Forge this game. Can't tell if this deck is great against Ragavan or awful. I mean, Ragavan is a good card against us, but you can beat the card. Dead to Breach, probably. Is Serum Powder worth this? Do never, in any context, register Serum Powder in Modern. Please, I beg you, resist the urge to register Serum Powder. It is bad. It is bad in every deck, and it tricks you into thinking that maybe you could... Okay, they have Breach if they're doing this, right? It tricks you into thinking maybe you could register it because every time you have Serum Powder, you're super happy to use it. You know why? That hand is trash and has Serum Powder. You want to get rid of it because it's just -1 card already. It's just, please, I'm begging you, don't register Serum Powder. In Vintage Dredge? Yeah, in Vintage Dredge, register Serum Powder. This is not... It's there. In Modern, there's not a situation that is comparable. Okay, so run the play, so we'll bring in the planes. Click submit, I think. It's nice that Karn turns off their combo. We could maybe bring in Needle. We should bring in Needle, actually. Let's cut a key. Yeah, planes are mostly for Besage You and Field of Ruin. We're seeing an FTK list. I don't know what an Flame Tongue Cavu? I believe FTK is Flame Tongue Cavu. But Magic abbreviations have gone way too far, y'all. They are all so out of control. Okay, it's pretty hard to mulligan Saga Power Conduit. Even this hand does have a lot of air in it. Let's keep. Should give Ugin a try. You don't think I've tried Ugin? I have tried Ugin. I don't think Ugin is good. Ugin is one of these, like, I look at the deck, I bet Ugin. It's one of these, like, first glance, I bet this card's good kind of cards. But I have not been a fan. Gross start. Gonna get turn 2'd by Breach. T-Shone, I found the card to be really good in deck. So this is something too. Like, we can argue and yell at each other, but be wary of thinking Ugin the Ineffable and cards like Ugin the Ineffable is good in your deck. Be wary. Because you only see the games where Ugin is this awesome 6-man, it's this cost reducer, and man, you +1 and you scry away the top card from Mystic Forge, and you get to do like you get to have a really powerful turn because of Ugin. But Ugin is like an unnecessary mana engine in the mana battery deck. Its abilities are all pretty bad. It's mostly like a 6-mana Semblance Anvil. Like I would play Semblance Anvil over Ugin. For sure in this deck, but it is the kind of card that I genuinely believe like really just kind of tricks you into thinking that it is good. I do not think it is a card that is good. I think it is one of these that you can really fall for a trap. And think that it is much better than it is. I'm not arguing, just saying from my experience. Yeah, I know, and I'm just again, I'm just advising you to be wary of cards like Ugin. It is the exact kind of card that tricks you into thinking it's optimal. It tricks you into thinking it's good, but I think it's almost always suboptimal. They're playing the Cornucopia. It's funny. So we have Tron next turn. Guess we map. I mean, I guess we were gonna map. I think I Inventors Fair over Power Plant. Be nice to win this game. Obviously, like the Haywire Might was particularly well timed, or they had a very fast start too. But it does seem like they're maybe a little flooded. You cannot take your opponent's charge counters, but you can put charge counters on your opponent's permanents, which is relevant against Engineered Explosives, Ratchet Bomb, and Chalice of the Void. One thing I really hate about Ugin the Ineffable is the minus doesn't kill Karn the Great Creator. If the minus on Ugin could kill opposing Karns, I would be like much more on board. But the fact that it doesn't destroy opposing Karns is just has been a big problem for me. You want another one? Pending my key. Okay, it's fine. Does mean I'm drawing less cards with my ring next turn. I like that draw a lot. This is going to make me much more likely to not die to a combo next turn. I think that my opponent could have Spell Pierce here, and I think that Spell Pierce is bad enough for me to play around. Doesn't cost me. It only costs me one counter on my Chalice to play around it too, so let's play around it. I know they're fetching a response kind of like out of habit, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I have a fetch line in play, my opponent's casting Needle, I should fetch. But I actually think in this spot you should not fetch. you should be very happy if I Needle your fetch land instead of Grinding Station. Would be my guess. Unless you have, like, maybe if you have Haywire Might in your hand or something, but you still probably want to Might my ring instead. It's a good habit. Yeah, it is a good habit to be in, but this is kind of something, like, if we're talking about, like, very high-level technical play, getting better at Magic, to some extent, you need to break your habits. You need, like, good habits are important for, like, learning sequencing, becoming better at the game, understanding how to play competitively. Like, in this spot, you should realize, oh, I'm very happy if my opponent needles my fetch line, I'm not cracking the fetch line. It's a super small thing, but it's just one of those. It's just the kind of habit you need to break, because like your habits are not always going to lead to correct plays. Again, it's very, very small and like nitpicky thing, but just trying to help y'all get better. Like here, I'm happy if my opponent needles Power Conduit, so I'm not taking the burden counter off the ring yet. They named Inventors Fair. Let's go, dude. Oh, also, I should have realized they're a Needle deck. I need to be bringing in my Magistrate Scepter anyways. Oh, wait, sorry. I meant to put the charge counter on the Chalice. That was a misclick. Don't think we're going to be too choked on mana. Okay, and it looks like naming Inventors Fair has worked out for them. As I drew 3 lands. Naming Inventors Fair, unironically, much better. Let's go, dude. And then Ragavan kindly clears a land from the top of my library. Maybe they have the win next turn. I mean, I think it's unlikely with me having Needle and Grinding Station. But I guess they if they have breach, they just breach the pending. Okay, yeah, maybe. So they're gonna breach pending on ring. So we're looking to draw another ring, a Karn, an Inventors Fair, and really just those. In a lot of these spots, like, it's nice that your expedition maps can... Oh, sorry, not Inventors. I think I said Inventors Fair. I meant Mystic Forge. In a lot of these spots, it's nice that, like, your expedition maps also can find you Inventors Fair, but, you know, Needle... Needle's a real card. And a lot of lands on top. What a classic. Classic, tap all your mana, it's just an Everflowing Chalice. Yeah, you use Pending over Might. Not like the biggest deal in the world. Pending opponent put it well. Maybe, I don't know. The ring was going to get really out of control. Oh, they hit my Mystic Forge. I wonder if they cast it. It's like a scryer for them. If they have nothing, they should cast it. They have some colorless cards, of course. They have a good number. there you go. What a game. They didn't tap their forge, which means they probably like their top card, which is bad for me. Still gaining life. What a painful game. Like they were ready to ring with ring was part of the thought process? Yeah, maybe. Although, like, I think that they had enough mana to needle my Inventors Fair and then also breach Haywire Might that turn if they had breach in their hand already. I kind of feel like they drew it. Why are we activating? Oh no! I forgot to activate the Inventors Fair. Y'all, if you ever come into the chat and you wonder why Spike isn't activating the thing that wins the game, just perform a cursory? Perform a quick search for a Pithing Needle. Will save you a lot of time. Perform a Pithing Needle scan. Targeting Saga means I probably get to, you know, live to draw another card. They do get to Haywire Might me every turn. Although if I can find Karn the Great Creator, I think I'm in pretty good shape. Although I've been hoping that they don't hit Karn or Fragavan for a while. I have infinite mana. Gaining a life every turn. Yeah, I've been working on this deck off stream. I do think it's better. I think this is the better build. Put counters on tapper for beatdown. Yeah, getting up to 3/3. This may be good. Now I'll probably just try to 2-turn clock them. Well, I guess I'm never doing that because of the Haywire Might. Oh, they're chumping. So they must have another Ragavan. No, they're playing the deck. They have 4 of my permanents over there. Wait, they exiled Underworld Breach? Okay. Okay. We'll take that. We couldn't save the construct with the +1 counter. If you had to make a guess, do you think Image 3 will have more no mana cost to spin cards? I didn't consult on Modern Horizons 3. People often ask me to speculate like this, like guess like what's in a set I haven't seen. I know this is like what Reddit does. They just like post crazy stuff. They're like, I bet Modern Horizons 3 has, you know, companion evoke cards. Ha 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 ha. But it's like, what are we talking about? We haven't seen the set. We're literally just guessing. There's no rhyme. There's no reason. It's just noise. Okay, Karn, please, I'm dying. Karn, please show up to work, please, Karn. It was the funniest draw. I'm gonna leave them both in the hand. I think I have almost no lands left in my deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 6 lands left in my deck. Alright, they're getting their scries in. I mean, they exiled an Underworld Breach. Maybe they have another one in their hand and they're just looking for Grinding Station. You cannot play Zerta, you have Urza Saga. I know it's dumb. Can't complain. We should do cyber cards. So targeting my Power Conduit. Let's get the Coretapper to 3/3 so I can block a Dash Ragavan, I guess. What's so funny is, you know, we're flooding out so badly, but my opponent is just not killing me. I have now can stream Karn, please. I summon you. Karn, I'm begging. Yes! 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 Okay, now what? We probably just get Mystic Forge. But, of course... Oh, wait, they can have counterspells? That's bullshit. How... My opponent, who has done nothing for 10 turns, has a counterspell? It's actually kind of rough, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's that common to see Force of Negation and Breach. Like, a lot of times it's, like, soft permission, like Spell Pierce and stuff. Yeah, we have gained a lot of life off this Inventors Fair. Oh, I've also been not tapping my Coretapper. Well, how could you possibly tap the Coretapper in this spot? It's an 11/11? Oh, boy. Oh, no. We might die. But we gained so much life off of our Inventors Fair. Let's just game 2. Yeah, but we are down a game. A fun league. Have another artifact for dead? I mean, can't we just block? Oh, they have the Manifold Key. I mean, they might not know you can unblock with Manifold Key. We are dead. I guarantee Karn is also the next card. Oh, it was basically... Okay. What a day. This is a weird one. You could keep 1/6 on the play. Uh-oh. Okay, that's a good one. I think I don't sack my Coretapper yet. I usually do. I think this is kind of a weird spot where I know my opponent has Beseiju. So, like, it's very rare on turn 2, game 1, you just know your opponent has a Beseiju. I think just going in here and playing another Chalice in 1 is not correct. I worked at Hearth Element from WoW. Could it work in Phoenix Stimulation instead of Izzet Charm? I don't think so. I don't think it's like the big problem solver. It could be a bit better than I think, though. Interesting. Interesting. I think my opponent thought they could Beseiju this turn. Needling a Beseiju this turn is also kind of interesting. Let's plan out our turn a little bit. So can I Stonebrain Primeval Titan? The thing is, I know my opponent's hand, so they can map for a bounce land. Map for a bounce land. Okay, so I mean, I think I'm like locked in on getting a key here. There we go. Tap, sack. Then we have 7 mana. What's this? 5. You have 8 mana. So I guess this is actually one of the spots where we untap the. Oh, I can't untap. I can't untap the. Yeah, they did get a 7 growth chamber. I can't untap the coding. I think we still get coding though. I think they probably besage you the coding this turn or these turns. I don't think we're supposed to needle besage you. Karn Brain. I don't have enough mana. Oh, I guess I do. I do have enough mana to Karn Brain Titan. Fine. Although it's kind of a bit awkward if they have Cultivator Colossus. It's maybe still correct. I mean, I think I can also Everflowing Chalice X equals 2. 2 mana floating. 2, yeah. Yeah, let's go for the one on Stonebrain Prime Time. I mean, it's just you lose to Cultivator Colossus is the thing. And like I don't really see because their hand is Besage You, Simic Growth Chamber. If their 2 mystery cards are Amulet of Vigor, Primeval Titan, they're still not able to cast a Titan this turn. I think we go for coding. Karn Bridge. I think I like the coding here. Wait, you can't Chalice here. What in the world are we talking about? Did I say Chalice? Did I say Chalice instead of coding? I would believe I said that. Oops, no plans. That being said, I know my opponent's hand is Simic Growth Chamber, 2 mystery cards. If they go tap Boros Garrison, Amulet of Vigor, they're still not casting a Titan, as if that's the 2 cards. Okay, so now I could Stonebrain Titan, I think. That we got the Besage You out of their hand. I think getting Ring is pretty safe, because just having protection from everything means that even if they go for a Titan, they're just not killing me this turn, and you know, I'm interested in, you know, winning the game myself at some point. Might take the counter off Karn. I think the Karn is maybe just dying this turn if they do cast Titan. And then, yeah, we could try to play around their Karn. I think that's probably not super feasible. Don't even necessarily think they play the card. Frey with the 38 months, thank you. That would be the way we lose as an opposing Karn. Let's keeping decks like this from being adopted to the meta. I think there's a good chance that people should be playing decks like this in the metagame right now. I think that Force of Vigor is kind of at an all-time low. I think this archetype is very powerful, very consistent. To some extent, I think that what would be keeping this deck out of the metagame is that this archetype is generally very difficult to learn. I think I don't like to say this that often because I really encourage people to pick up and play this deck, but I think it's super complicated. I think this is like it's like maybe like 1/10 as hard as blue-white control to play, and that's just kind of like unthinkable numbers. Draw 3. Let's draw 4. Gotta concede. Blue-white control players get so much hate on this channel. Yeah, but y'all should know it. Y'all know it's because I'm also a blue-white control player, right? I want to keep the caverns. Is it crazy to like trim a mine and a power plant for the plains? Probably also need the scepter against a possible needle. Let's try this. Let's try that though. How do you walk your dogs like this? You'd have to do it in the morning. Or like really short walks. What does blue-white need to be good again? Blue-white is as good as... is only good when Waffo like top 8 a challenge, and then everyone's like, it's good again! Waffo top 8 a challenge! This time he had this random card in the deck. It is good again, baby. And then players realize they're not Waffo, and then the deck is bad again. Just like that. Could be dying this turn. Kind of interesting to see Crumbling Vestige, though. Okay. Can work with that. Thought that was my missing Tron piece for a second. Okay, I guess we are hoping to live a turn. Seems kind of ambitious. Aren't you glad you trimmed a mine and power plant? Yeah. Uh-oh, that's a third amulet. There's a serious issue a lot of control players have where the decks just can't close games. I don't know. The thing is, your deck can close games. But maybe you just, don't know when the moment is to pivot. Although I'll say, I remember like post, like one of the first tournaments I played after, like first paper tournaments back from COVID, I played a Bant control deck, and like my opponents just played so incredibly slow. I did this actually like 2 tournaments in a row. I played control, and my opponents would just like do like every turn would just like draw their card. I would have, Teferi, Jace, other Teferi in play, 7 cards in my hand. They would have no board state. They would just draw their card, look at their card, sigh. Oh, sorry. Cut the caverns. Sigh. Take like a full minute to like look at the board, and then just pass the turn, because obviously there's just nothing they can do. And then I'm like rushing to play my turn as quickly as possible, and then they just draw their card, take like 2 minutes to like just be, continue to be defeated. And it like, for me, that's why I was having a hard time with blue-white control, was I just had opponents who were, I guess, just slow playing. I don't think it was like really intentional, but it was like kind of just textbook slow play, to be honest. Although when I played blue-white in Vegas, I didn't really have that problem for some reason. Another double amulet hand. You have the rare turn 2 kill. Currently 1 mana short of a Titan. But this will probably be good enough unless they have a just like no follow-up. Probably get a Saga at this point. Sideboard plan working though. It's actually kind of an interesting draw with the Scepter in our hand. Why didn't you call judges to make them play quicker? It seems justified. No. I did in some of the games, and I didn't in some of the games. It's just kind of contextual. Opponent with... I hate this. I don't... the pack to GG. I don't know. I don't know. I shouldn't get annoyed by it. I used to not get annoyed by it, and I don't know what changed. Just became more toxic over time.